Hello everyone. I had stated that I would show some of the versions of Gita I have. The one that I'm studying right now is from Ramakrishna Math, Swami Ranganathananda's commentary. But this was one of my very early ones that I used for study. This is not the one that I actually used to study. After my pocket Bhagavad Gita, I moved on to a Tattvavivecani. This is from Gita Press, Jayadayal Goyantka's commentary. This I had a copy of this back in my parents' house, which I used to study. Again, that was not there. I think my parents are generous people. They gave out Gitas to people that asked them. So I think that was also gone. So this one's my personal copy that I bought a year ago. The first thing I have done is I have separated all the chapters and also marked important verses with page tabs. What I like about this is that it is a very neutral commentary in my opinion, and the commentary is very easy to follow. They are long, but they're very easy to follow, and I love how things are explained in this. So even before we get to the actual stuff, there is so much information about a general survey of Gita, how chapters are divided, what's present in each chapter, and he also quotes several verses from several chapters to explain the subheadings of the glory of Gita and general information on Gita. And then the next thing that I like about this Gita are the pictures. The pictures are just gorgeous. I always cherish these. If you look at, these are these glossy papers, and they're really gorgeous. This is one of those old style paintings of gods and stories from Bhagavata. And the other unique part about this is that you have a summary in front of each chapter, and you are able to get a gist of what all the verses are. Not even one verse is left. Each verse or group of verses are explained in short terms as to what they are. And if you just read this, and if you're not into going verse by verse and meaning word by word meaning, you can still read the summary of the chapter and still be able to cover all the verses. That's something I really love about this Gita. And then you have the story up till the war. Everything that happens in Mahabharata before the war has been condensed and given before the Bhagavad Gita starts. And then you have the verses themselves. What I like about this part is that, what I don't like about this part is that you only have the Sanskrit verses and you don't have the English pronunciation, which is actually helpful, which I see in Prabhupada's and others. If you don't know Sanskrit, and this would be a bummer for you, because this is only the Sanskrit script and you don't know how to pronounce this. However, the upside is that if you know Sanskrit, you have each word's meaning here, and it's very easy to follow that way. And then you have the meaning of the verse and then the commentary. And the commentary, as I said, is very neutral and very easy to follow. And what I find is that it's full of bhakti rasam. If you are into bhakti, this is something that you can pick up. This version, I think Gita Press's Jayadayal Goyantka, if I'm not mistaken, follows Vishishta Advaita's philosophy. In terms of philosophy, it's probably closer to that, but I was told that. I'm not very sure. But what I really like is every commentary somehow puts you back in faith. If you want to strengthen your bhakti, this version will please you, because you have quotes of other verses within a verse to enlighten something. And I've done quite some work here. Like, I took characters and I started to write about them, and then I also color coded some of these things. Pink means Bhishma and things like that. So this is the first chapter I'm flipping through. So this is my study in this book. So if you like detailed explanations, but simple in the style and very bhakti oriented, this is a very good version to pick up. And for me, I felt that this is a beginner's book. If you are new into Gita, this is something that you will really like, because first of all you have the summary, as I stated, and then you have word by word meaning, and then you have the detailed commentary with bhakti focus. So that's this Tattvavivecani. I have one more from Gita Press, which is the Sadhaka Sanjeevani, which I will flip through if I get a chance. I also have other versions, as I told you. My intention is to show you that there are versions available. In no means I'm telling that all these are necessary. They're not necessary. What I do is I study one version. I haven't done all 700 verses in this. I've only done until 3rd chapter. When I started 4th chapter, I moved on. What I do is I finish a version and then go to other versions, and I continue. And sometimes what I do, as I said earlier, is to take one version, and if I found something really standing out, really nice and good to remember, then what I do is I take notes on that version and then other version and combine it, and I journal. And one of these days I'll be able to show you my Bhagavad Gita journal too. I journal on it as if I was journaling, in the sense that I'll connect it to a current problem that I may have in my life, which I may not show, but that's one way of journaling. Other way of journaling is scripture writing. Just write the verse and write the meaning and write what stands out to you from the commentary. Another thing that I do is to take a verse and contemplate on it. Take several versions of Gita that I own, Sadhaka Sanjeevani or this one, and Ranganathananda ji's translation, and just combine things that really stood out, like post-it notes like these, that I take and combine them and make a reminder for myself for further contemplation and study. So this is one of my favorites, because this was one of the versions that I used for my deep study. The old one that I had studied the entire book, but this one I bought recently, because as I told you, my old version that I personally use is missing. So this one's the version that it's the same book that I bought online. So if you can get a hold of this, and if you are someone that's seeking a deeper study into Bhagavad Gita, and you probably know Sanskrit and you're able to pronounce the words, and then you want to know word by word meaning, this is a good book to go to. Hope you like this, and I'll meet you with all my other versions in a video soon. Thank you. Bye-bye.